Hawaiians making oil, or they took the oil from the nuts and made lamp oil and torches and things, light for their homes. Waimea Southeast, Wings 11. See that cabin up in the forest up there? You can see the roof. That's the Robinson's cabin. That's on the border of their property. So once we pass the ridge line where their cabin's built, we'll be in the Waimea Canyon State Park, where it's open access. You can hike and camp, hunt. They hunt goats mostly out in the canyon. Waialae overhead, Wings 11. There it is, the Waialae Canyon. You can see waterfalls coming in right at the top.
Oh, wow.
Visualize the erosion process there. It cuts right into the rock, carves the canyon out. The Grand Canyon of the Pacific coming into view. 3,000 feet deep throughout. Similar to the average depth of the Grand Canyon. This was just a little bit shorter, only 10 miles long. Approaching Waipo'o, 5,000 weeks left.
Okay, just coming up to the upper mic, 3.8.
E3GH, is it clear from there to like Polihale?
Yeah, I can see all the way out to Polihale and out to New Ololo also. A little bit low there just on the rim.
Okay, cool, thanks.
No worries.
Is it Ben? 3GH?
It's Eli and HH.
Eli. No, Eli is the same Eli used to work in our island?
Yes, sir.
Hey, well, congratulations. Nice upgrade to the 500 there.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Waipo'o Falls.
Okay, this one's for Gabby.
We're right at the back of the Waimea Canyon. You can see the whole length of it now. Looking right down the Waimea River, all the way down to where it enters the ocean. You can actually hike right along the top of this ridgeline to the top of the waterfall. Although, watch your step. It's a long way down.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high.
Safari on a Pepe from the east.
The dreams that you dream of.
What's that, Pod? That is is called pu'ulua, which in Hawaiian means toilet water, but it's not dirty. They actually plant trout in that pond, and you can. They have a fishing contest for keiki there, kids, once a year. See how many you can pull out of the pond there. And you'll drive right past it, right on the Waimea Canyon Road, right below us here. Upper Mike Weeks left. Real close to the edge in some spots.
Someday wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find.
These are eucalyptus trees mostly down here. Very few of the trees on the Hawaiian Islands are considered to be native Hawaiian. One exception to that is the kukui. But these are from Australia originally. A lot of this landscape was covered with beautiful old hardwood trees like sandalwood, but there was a period of history where they just kind of cut them all down and sold them to China. So they're trying to reintroduce those to the island slowly but surely. Coming into view on the left, there's a beautiful beach down there along the shoreline on the west. It's actually the longest, largest beach in all the Hawaiian Islands, called Polehale. This stretch, about 3 miles long, you can access if you have a Jeep, but if you don't, I don't recommend it. It's a long 4-mile dirt road. Even if you have a Jeep, they say bring a case of beer with you to pay off the locals to help you dig your Jeep out if you get stuck.
Low back front, HH.
The beach continues on another 15 miles around the point there, right past the Pacific Missile Range facility, military base. They actually do missile tests and things over the ocean there, and war games exercises, which is why we're on this side of the base. Don't want to interfere with that.
How do you do?
If you look left, you can actually see a little bit of Ni'ihau Island. Right there on the left wingtip, between the clouds, see the beaches over there? That one is also owned by the Robinson family. They paid $10,000 and a piano for it. And then they realized they didn't like it, so they turned it over to the native Hawaiians for their exclusive use. One famous guy from there, Israel Makaviva Ole, the guy that sings this song, also known as Brada Is. Guy nearly 800 pounds. Passed away in 1997, complications with his weight. But he's a legend here in Hawaii. And he's one of the few that can say he's from the island of Ni'ihau. Only 65 native Hawaiians over there, last counting. Wow. Also on the left part of the missile base there, that's the tracking station, the radar facility. And right at the edge of their base, a 2,000-foot cliff goes right down to the ocean, drops straight off sheer. Well, that's half as big as the cliffs that we're going to see on the right side here. This is the Nepali coast coming into view. Only seen by air tours and boats. Beautiful day for it.
Sorry, middle again.
Uninhabited, untouched. But in early Hawaiian times, a lot of Hawaiians lived up here. Fishing villages near the ocean and agriculture inside the valleys here. Right below us here, an old fishing village. There's ruins of it that are visible to us right here. Right behind the beach, you see that little rectangle? That was their temple, their heiau, religious site. Those villagers built a ladder going over that cliff into the valley next door. Access to the other side, their neighbors over there. You can't use the ocean in the wintertime up here. 20-foot swells, very common, smash into the island all throughout the wintertime. This winter we had a 50-foot swell come in. So that's partly what shaped this terrain. Constant battering of the shoreline, creating erosion all the way up the cliffs. Also the wind and the rain, that's mostly what shaped these patterns into the cliffs. There's caves at the base of the cliffs too, some of them are quite deep. There's a few that go in there about a quarter mile. And some are connected to each other, so you can go in one with a small boat and come out the other. But you better make sure the tide doesn't come in on you while you're inside. Behind the first beach, a real narrow valley. They used to bury their royalty way up in those cliffs. Hawaiian royalty, their tombs are still up there. Archaeologists have found them in recent times. The slave of the king was forced to climb the cliff and find a secret spot. And once he found it, make sure it was kept a secret, he had to jump off. So, if you ever thought your job was rough. That was also King Kong's Valley, 70s version of the movie. Rock formations called cathedrals for their spire shapes. Looking back now, behind the right wingtip, between those beaches, there's a hole in the rock, an archway. You can walk right through from one beach to the other.
Sorry, upper Mike.
Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean 2 was walking through the hole in the rock there. The Kauai Valley. Home to 5,000 Hawaiians in early times. A few hippies living back there today. In early Hawaii, you would have seen the hills leading up to the cliffs, all terraced, different kind of crops growing. The hippies are growing their own crops back there. The access is via this trail. You see straight down there, a line cutting across? That's the Kauai Trail, 22 miles in and out of here. Got to get a permit to do it, and you got to bring, of course, all your camping equipment for that one. This is the easy part. I'll show you the hard part ahead of us here. See how the cliffs kind of make a pyramid shape coming up from the water? The trail cuts right through the center section of those pyramids. Like there's a smaller pyramid here, almost totally black cliff except a green band going through. That's where the trail is. And that boat's going right for the horseshoe cave, and you go in one and out the other. And when you're halfway into that first cave where he's headed, he's going to meet with a waterfall that drops from the ceiling of that cave. You can see where it goes in the top of the cave there. See that little white stream going in?
Oh, yeah.
And then there's another waterfall right here where it drops right into the mouth of the cave. You can see how high those waves splash up there. See where the trees start growing on the cliff there? Big wintertime swell splashes all the way up to that height. You can hike the first 2 miles of the Kauai Trail, lead you right to this beach right here. Or another 2 miles will take you up to the waterfall in the back of the valley. Just coming into view, a few more seconds here. See it back there?
Oh yeah.
That one's an 8-mile round trip total, in and out.
Safari, over the top of New Lolo for Honolulu.
Wings 11 KA. How's it going, Brian?
Fancy, Josh. It's a little windy, but it's not too bad. Where did you say you're at?
KA. We're looking at some good weather up here. Past the bumps now.
Excellent.
This is all beach, all the way around the North Shore from here on. And it's Kauai's got more beaches than all the other Hawaiian islands. And these are some of the best right here. This is the side of Kauai, always in the magazines and postcards. But it's the side of Kauai that gets a little bit more rainfall, so gotta check the weather before you come up here. Sometimes there'll be beautiful conditions down at your Grand Hyatt down south, the Sheraton down there. But up here it'll be a little stormy. A few celebrity homes along this stretch. Pierce Brosnan, Julia Roberts. Looking behind us now, see where the beach ends there at the teal blue colored water? That's KA, all the way at the end of the road. You can drive to that point. Pretty good beach, although parking's difficult there. I recommend just hanging out here at Tunnels. This reef right below us got the squiggly lines going through it.
Safari, Honolulu.
Area is called Tunnels. The beach goes by the same name, and it's the best snorkeling spot on Kauai. See those broken pieces of coral over there by right on the beach? Yeah, it's really good snorkeling. You can park. There's lots of parking there at Hyena Beach Park inside the bay just behind us. See the cars parked kind of at the base of that cliff over there? And then just walk to Tunnels and do your snorkeling. If you're a surfer, you swim 20 minutes offshore there, and there's the surf break. See where the waves are breaking behind us? A little bit offshore, there's some kite boarders there today. That's the exact spot where Bethany Hamilton lost her arm to the tiger shark.
Ooh.
The Soul Surfer. Did you guys see that movie?
Yeah.
They made a movie about that. Filmed it right there, too. But that's nowhere near where you'd be snorkeling. It's way offshore in the dark blue colored water. That's where the big fish swim. And that's the premier shot of the day, right there, looking right down the Nepali coast, Bali High, the first ridge line with the points there, all the colors in the water leading up to that point. White surf, golden sand, all the blues in the water, colors on the reef. Pierce Brosnan's on island right now. His house is down here in Hyena in this area.
Okay,
And we'll